Glaceons! My name is Steph, and I'm your coach of the Golden State Glaceons in this season of the WBE. Now, before we get started, some of you might not really know what the WBE is or what it's all about. So before we dive into things, I would love to take a minute to explain to you what it is, what's going on, and why it's actually a really cool thing to be a part of. So, WBE stands for World Battle Entertainment, and it's a Pokemon Draft League that is run by both A-Drive and Pokéaim. Think fantasy football, but with Pokemon instead. It's really cool. Now this year, the Draft League was divided into two categories, a singles and a doubles division, with 16 coaches each. And we, as the coaches, get to draft 11 Pokemon that we get to use for the entire season. It's a snake-style draft, which means that if you're towards the end of the list for getting your first pick, fret not, because as it snakes back around, you'll be able to grab your second and third picks a lot quicker. So it kind of balances out in that way. Now for the VGC format, which is the section that I'm a part of, each week I get to bring 6 Pokemon out of the 11 that I've drafted and battle it out against another coach in a best of 3 format. Top 8 players make it to playoffs. Hopefully that makes sense. If anything else is unclear, feel free to comment to me down below and I'd love to help clarify anything further. I'll also link you to A-Drive's full draft video, which goes into things in more detail as well. So, what is this video all about? Well, welcome to my official draft analysis video, where I basically want to give you guys a little bit more insight into why I picked the Pokemon that I did, and honestly just talk about how excited I am to really use these really cool Pokemon. And before we get started, I also had 2 really quick things I wanted to mention. First, if you would like to support me and the Golden State Glaceons, we do have a merch. You can go down in the links below, click on it, grab a shirt or a mug or something. It helps support me as a creator. It's not necessary at all, but I did just want to let you guys know that it's a thing if you would like to help out. Otherwise, no worries at all. Secondly, the Golden State Glaceons have an amazing support system, and I wanted to just take a moment to give the biggest shout out in the entire world to my front office, who is helping me out this season. This is my very first draft league ever, and the group of people who I've been working with have gone above and beyond in helping me theorize which Pokemon to bring, help me route the draft and the order that I wanted to pick the Pokemon in, help me if any Pokemon got sniped, like, say, Lapras, for example. Lapras, I'll always miss you. But yeah, seriously, to Patrick, Nicole, Taryn, Maddie, Drew, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being on my front office team and for helping me. Seriously, guys, I could not have drafted as cool of a team without them and their expertise. Also, I just want to shout out to Jocario, who is a longtime friend of mine, and while not technically on my front office, Joko has given me so much battle practice and is always around if ever I need help, and just want a friend to talk to about VGC. So seriously, Joko, I also really appreciate you as well. Guys, when I talk about the Golden State Glaceons, I like to use we, because I really feel like this journey has been a group effort with so many people who have helped me along the way, and so that's why you'll notice I use we, because it really feels like a team effort, and I freaking love it. I'm so excited to get things started. Okay, I know I got on a little bit of a tangent there, so let's just jump right into the draft and get talking about what I picked and why it's pretty cool. Also, again, guys, A-Drive did his own draft analysis with the big grand reveal of everybody's draft, so I will link that video down below if you want to see what Dan and Wolfie, they co-commentated their video together, if you want to see what they had about what they had to say about my team. But I'll just let you guys know that you're getting the extra scoop from me in this video here, so it's gonna be really cool. All right, let's transition over real quick. So, first and foremost, we drafted Cinderace. Now, I gotta tell you guys, I was shook that by the time it was my turn to draft, Cinderace was still around. To give you a little bit of context, I was pick number 14 in this draft. So Cinderace survived 14 picks. Now, the way this draft works, Gmax Cinderace did go, but it looks like nobody took Dynamax Cinderace. So honestly, this was a must grab. The fact that it was still here, I think it's no surprise that Cinderace is one of the top mons used in VGC right now. And because of its amazing ability, Do you need a steel type Pokemon? Boom! Thanks to Cinderace's hidden ability, it's now a steel type. You need a dark type Pokemon? Boom! It is so versatile, and with 119 speed, oh, Cinderace is fast. And with the ability to get max airstream, man, it really can't get much better than that. Cinderace is incredible, and what a powerful first pick for us, really. Second in our draft, we went with G-Max Snorlax. All right, so I'm gonna check some of my notes here to make sure I've got everything correct. But yeah, so something that's really interesting about draft leagues, it's not always about just trying to grab really powerful mons, but wanting to come up with a plan that'll give synergy between our Pokemon. So keep in mind, by the time I got to my turn, a lot of G-Max Pokemon were gone, but getting Snorlax was a huge win for us because of how versatile and flexible Snorlax really is. So it gets, first of all, Snorlax is a bulky boy. He's great in Trick Room. He also gets moves like Yawn and Curse, but then you could also go with something more offensive like a Belly Drum set. So honestly, I think Snorlax is a huge threat that my opponents won't be able to ignore, whether or not he ends up maxing or not, you know? So after Snorlax, we picked Toxtricity. So far we had Snorlax and Cinderace, which are awesome. Don't get me wrong, but they're both physical attackers, right? So going into this pick, we really wanted to make sure that we had a strong special attacking Pokemon. And I mean, electric and poison moves definitely hit hard in 2020 VGC. So it seemed like a pretty strong pick for us. Also, Overdrive ignores redirection, which is a really nice bonus. And as a mid-tier speed Pokemon, what's really nice is that Toxtricity is still able to take advantage of Cinderace's max airstreams if needed, but it's also slow enough to where if we want to run Toxtricity in a Trick Room mode, that is also possible. So having that flexibility is really cool and a reason why we went with Toxtricity. So after Toxtricity, we went with our beautiful girl, Jelly. Oh, I love Jellicent so much. I have a personal bias. I mean, just look how cute Jellicent is. I love Jellicent so much. So we're bringing on another special attacker with great support. This is our Trick Room setter, but Jellicent also gets access to things like Strength Sap, Imprison, Pain Split. Oh man, Jellicent's just honestly a really great pairing for Snorlax, and honestly having the normal and water type immunities is a big bonus. I love this thing. I love Jellicent. I'm happy to bring it on board. I want to give it a big hug, you know what I mean? So after Jellicent, that brings us to Kangaskhan. So you'll notice that we've jumped to our tier 4 pick. Now, everyone has to draft at least one tier 4 Pokemon. So our logic approaching this draft was that we wanted to look at the tier 4 mons and draft what we thought would be the best tier 4 mon early. And when we saw that Kangaskhan qualified as a tier 4 mon, we were like, oh, I think with all the support that Kangaskhan gets and also a lot of the offensive pressure it can possibly have, we should grab this. I mean, what's really awesome about Kangaskhan is it's so valuable. First of all, it gets Fake Out, and with its ability Scrappy, it can hit our beautiful ghost types like Dusclops with Fake Out, which is really awesome. It's also immune to Intimidate with its Inner Focus ability, and it's also got a huge move pool. So again, we can choose to run it more offensively or as a support Pokemon. Yay for more flexibility. It's really helpful in a draft league like this. We're going to be facing a whole bunch of different styles of teams. It'll be nice the different ways we can run the Pokemon, you know? So after Kangaskhan, that brings us to our next pick, which is the lovely Tangela. So at this point in the draft, there were not a lot of redirectors left, and we definitely wanted to make sure we had some form of redirection before the draft ended. And we really didn't want a redirector who needed a focus sash, like say a Moongus or something. So, or not a Moongus, the baby one, the Foongus. A Moongus is very bulky, don't mind me. We didn't want something like Foongus that would need a focus sash to be viable, so we brought Tangela on board. Now, Tangela's got a really high special attack of 100, and we get a lot of utility with things like Leech Seed, Sleep Powder, and of course, the redirection with Rage Powder, right? So it honestly just fit really nice with the rest of what we had going on with our team, and there's not much else to it there. Now, this next pick is pretty hype if you ask me. Bombi joins our squad. Let me just say one thing to you. Imagine Speed Swap Bombi and Snorlax. Does that not sound pretty terrifying and pretty awesome? Bombi fits so well on our team. Yeah, I mean, also having the fighting resistance is really huge, so it helps protect our Snorlax and Kangaskhan. But speed swap, though, there's a lot of shenanigans we can rock with Bombi, and so I'm really excited to have it. I'm glad it didn't go beforehand. It fits really nice, you know? And here's where things continue to get really interesting from here on. Now, for those of you who follow me on Twitch, you've gotten to see me tease using this Pokemon a bit and just the type of shenanigans you can run with it. That's right, Riolu joins our squad. Oh my gosh, Riolu is so much fun. Holy cow. Riolu gets lovely ability Prankster, and it also has a nice move called Coaching, which with our physical attackers, Coaching is going to do wonders. It basically takes already offensive powerhouses and then turns them into defensive walls at the same time. So cool. So it's actually really interesting. We wanted Riolu as part of our core strategy from a pretty early point in our draft theorizing process, you could say. But we had a feeling that it wasn't going to go fast and that not a lot of people were going to grab Riolu as one of their first picks. So we knew that we could wait to grab it late into the draft. And lo and behold, as we're in the last 4 Mons that we're drafting, we were able to grab Riolu no problem. I love this thing, and I can't wait for you guys to see what a superstar I know this Riolu is going to be on our team. So great support, Mon, and yeah, it's going to be great. I'm so excited. Prankster Coaching, that's all you got to know. It's all you got to see. It's going to be a scary time. And after Riolu came the lovely, the amazing Carbonite. Now, Carbonite was a solid 100-point pick. Now, in case it wasn't made clear, or maybe it's not obvious, the 4 free picks you see at the bottom of our little draft there, we were all given 250 points, and then we could spend that however we want. So a tier 1 is 100 points, a tier 2 is 75, a tier 3 is 50 points, and a tier 4 is 25 points. So we could mix and match however we want. And so that's kind of going to be part of our little strategy here, is we wanted at least one tier 1 that we buy, which was Carbonite. And I mean, Carbonite's, first of all, another Pokemon that benefits from the coaching strategy. It also gives us a lot of resistances and immunities that we didn't have before, you know, like ground, poison, psychic. Oh, it's also a Tailwind user, which is pretty hype. Yay! So Carbonite joining our squad's really nice. I think Carbonite helped round out our team a ton. After Carbonite, this brings us to kind of towards the end of our draft. We're at 2 more picks remaining. So we went with Claydol. So we basically wanted something to help cover our electric and ground resist. Also, Claydol has a boatload of support options. Ally Switch, Imprison, Safeguard, Skill Swap. Oh, it's also another Trick Room setter too. So the amount of support on this bulky boy, it's pretty nice if you ask me. So Claydol was a really cool thing to pick up towards the end of our draft. And of course, last but not least, I leave you guys with the Galarian Linoon. You know, it's written on here as Linoon Galar, so that tripped me up for a bit. But yes, Galarian Linoon, which aka Galarian Linoon is just basically a budget Alolan Persian, and at least what we were thinking when picking it up was to use it as such. So basically, Linoon gets excuse me, I'm dying over here. It gets Icy Wind, gets Helping Hand, gets Snarl, Taunt, Trick, Parting Shot, Fake Tears, Knockoff, and it can all do that at base 100 speed. So honestly, for a tier 4 Pokemon that we needed to pick up to round things out, the fact that this thing was available and left at the very end of the draft, not too bad. Overall, I'm super happy and excited with what we drafted. So over there on the side, you can see our final roster of who we picked. I hope that gave you a little bit more of insight as to why we picked what we did and how there's a lot of synergy, a lot of flexibility with our team. we can run a whole bunch of different sets, and I'm really, really excited. Oh, something else I wanted to make sure I mentioned before we wrapped up this video here is that the draft videos will be going up Sundays starting August 9th. So August 9th will be when the week 1 video goes up, which, by the way, I'm facing Aaron Zhang week 1. Isn't that terrifying? But I'm also very, very excited. So we're fighting the Melbourne Rotoms week 1. It's gonna be a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Of course, if you did, please be sure to leave a like. It lets me know, hey, I thought this type of analysis was really cool and you should maybe do it more often. Again, thank you so much to everybody who's been supporting me thus far, and I will see all of you guys in the next video.